Okay. It started.
Okay, for me, it says still waiting for the host to start the meeting. Oh, wait.
Hey folks, sorry about that. I had a problem getting into the Summit Zoom account because it's been a while since I've done that, and it was asking for a password and two-factor verification and all that fun stuff. So, but yeah, excited to get going here. Looks like some more people are coming on.
There we go. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess when you logged into Command this morning, you probably were greeted by my friend Donnie Brockman. He was like on your homepage, then saying, "Welcome to the new ads campaign." So I wasn't expecting that, and he forgot that he did that. So when he logged on this morning, he was like, so he surprised himself, which I think is amusing. All right, so in the link for the class and stuff, there was some background stuff that you need to do for Facebook. They've actually put that all on the paid ads page now, so all the instructions are there with a video and everything. So let's just kind of come through what's here, and let me go back to campaigns. All right, so in campaigns here, let me just turn my mouse on. Okay, so in campaigns, I went to paid ads, right, which we'd normally do for Facebook ads. And if I scroll down, I can see my old ads that ran. If anybody actually had one running, it would still be running. It doesn't get interrupted with this new changeover. So I could see, the last ads. I can click on this and see the leads that I, got from that ad, which was fairly recent. This is the video here for in the center. This is like your setup. So it's all about getting properly set up on your page access and everything like that on the Facebook business page, as well as, if you don't already have one, how to set up a Meta Business Suite account, which handles some of the stuff now. If you're a solo agent and you've done this all yourself, you're probably good to go, but just kind of walk through the steps to make sure. This I haven't watched yet, but this is Tyler Shields is great at lead conversion from internet leads and stuff. And so that sounds like a very valuable little video to watch. And then this is kind of what we're going to do today. So, you can come back here and watch this video. It's like 10 minutes long. But when you start the process, you hit this quick start button, and it's going to bring you into this step-by-step process to connect your account. And what I did is, since I did that this morning already, I happened to record it. So I'm just going to play this little 4-minute video so you can see what I did for the first time this morning when I did this. So I'm just going to hit play.
Okay, so I'm going to set this up and record it. This is the new paid ad experience. So I just came into campaigns, clicked on paid ads. Here's some videos here I haven't even watched yet. Here's the old ads.
And can everybody hear me narrating that? I need somebody to speak up and say yes.
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
We can hear you.
All right, I'm going to play again.
Legacy ones. that, you'll still be able to, anything that's still running is still going, and that won't be interrupted. So I did the back end stuff in Facebook already. So I'm just going to hit quick start here and see where it brings us. Okay. Welcome to new paid ads. This is my dashboard. Okay, incoming leads. Media library that connects actually to designs, I believe, right? Payment information. Okay. So log into Facebook and check your permissions.
So it took me a minute to realize that I needed to just go over to the left and click on Facebook pages.
Facebook pages. Okay, so this should be all done. Continue. Opt into all current and future businesses. Okay. Let's see, homes. Save. Got it. All right, so I am just about done here.
So it allows you to associate different pages. So I'm really only chose the one.
And now I'm ready to go. And this part we'll get into during class.
Okay. So let's see. Yeah, so for people that are on teams and things like that, it allows you to maybe on the back end of Facebook, it'll allow you to associate multiple people with the one team's business account. So different people can run ads on it and stuff like that. So there's a lot of flexibility there on the back end. But if we come over to, if I click on account settings, it's going to go straight to like the billing section and notification preferences and stuff like that. If I come back to dashboard, it brings me to the different types of ads that I can run. Equally, if I had just on the previous page, if I had just clicked create ad or create campaign, it would have kind of brought me to this page and given me these options. So there's a lot of new stuff here. And what they've done is they've streamlined it to make things a lot easier and given us some extra options. So a listing ad, clearly specific to a listing that's available now. And you can see it includes the Facebook lead form. So you don't have to make a point of checking that off. By choosing this one, it's going to automatically use the lead capture form. And you can see that it's automatically going to go on Facebook and Instagram. In previous classes, I've shown how that you need to show like dynamic placement, so the algorithm, figures out where you're getting most play, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook, and kind of shift your budget there. You don't have to do that anymore. It's all kind of, we're completely trusting the algorithm, and the people who set this stuff up specializes in this, and we're going to get a lot more quality leads from this for fewer dollars spent. So this would be just a single image or video. This would be multiple images, so you can do up to 5. You don't want to give them that many pictures to look at anyway, because you want to give them a reason to click learn more. You can advertise a few listings, that's new, and that's very cool if you're fortunate to have a few. And then there's the non-listing. So if you wanted to do something to attract sellers or something like that, and image or video. I had done one back in the pandemic with a video in it and stuff, and I got some good leads out of it. Now, all these others do not use the Facebook lead capture form. This is kind of just to attract sellers, and it's going to drive them to either a landing page or your website. And you're going to rely on, they're basically getting traffic to your website. And hopefully, what they see there is going to, prompt them to inquire more and either register on your site, or fill out a contact form and contact you that way. You'll definitely get fewer leads that way, but certainly if somebody's going to go through the steps of doing that, it'll be a quality lead. And there are settings on the back end of your website that you can designate that after they look at as many as like just 2 houses, then it gives a pop-up that it forces them to register on your site, and that dumps them into command as well. So that's that. Attract buyers is going to be very similar, with where you're driving them to and stuff. You can try to attract new talent to KW. That's another option. And in all of these vehicles and stuff, there's actually now, and I'm going to demo this. There's actually now AI suggested copy. Then you can tweak, the style of it and stuff like that, and just kind of look at different suggestions and stuff like that. And then of course you can edit it as well and kind of make it your own, or delete it completely and start with your own ideas. But the idea was to kind of make it a little simpler for you. This is for Google search ads, and these two, and you don't even need to have a Google search ad account for these. These are subscription based, so it's basically like $250 a month or something like that, and you do want to make a commitment with these and run them for at least 3 months. It's not something you want to just throw out there, try 1 month and stop. You need that kind of repeat visibility when people are Googling stuff and they keep seeing you pop up. So that's that.
What does that entail exactly? These Google ads?
I'll do a little demo of that.
Okay.
And you can see, it basically builds the ad for you and stuff, and it's going to pop up in different spots on Google. And
do you have to have a Google My Business or Google Maps for that to work?
I would recommend doing a Google My Business page anyway, period. But I don't believe you have to have any kind of Google account other than email.
Okay. I'll have to schedule a meeting with you, because I've tried Google My Business twice and they've denied me twice, and I don't really know what it is that I'm missing. So I'll set up a time to meet with you to go over that.
Okay, sounds good. And then this is an all channel thing. So this is Facebook, Instagram, and this is not a Google search ads, but it comes like the search ads is when people are searching for something specific. This is where it just kind of pops up on Google products. So if they happen to be on a Google search, it could pop up there, but it could also pop up on YouTube or something. And, so it's going to just kind of sprinkle throughout all the different Google products that are out there. And that would be the same for these. So listings attract sellers, attract buyers. And then once again, all of these are going to drive to a lead capture form on a landing page or your website. That is that. So this is the dashboard. Contacts would be anybody who came in, the leads that came in from an ad, and that would be from the lead capture forms. And of course, they get dumped right into Command as well. A lot of people, when they do a listing ad, they like to put like a little graphic on it, just listed, on a red bar or something like that with white type on it, and maybe put some other stuff that gives it a little bit more flavor than just a photo. And if you do that in designs, right, you can come here and boom, all your stuff from designs is right here. So if you did a graphic and you wanted to, just choose that as your, here it's like just listed, I can just choose that and bring that in as a photo. I'd be able to do that as I'm building the ad. So once again, this is the page that's connected here. And then these are some of the other channels and stuff like that. So these are different like programs and stuff, but let's get into one of these things here. So let's do, this is basically the most related ad that everybody's kind of been used to doing, a listing ad with a few photos. So I'm going to build this here, and you can see that it's going to show you what it's going to look like on the side. And I'm going to add a listing, and I can do address, and then I'm going to do that last step. This is the last ad I ran, and I guess I haven't checked. It may have gone under contract. So let's just do. I guess I should have prepared something for this. So, Summit. That's where is it? Nobody has a listing available, do they?
I have one that's under attorney review.
Mm,
I don't know if that's going to pop up there or not.
it might. So let's see. Market for rents. This looks like we can just use this one. All right. So you can see it's starting to build there. Yeah, this is in town. You can, now this is a super cool thing. In the referral network, in the referral section in Command, we can see referral patterns of where referrals inside of KW are going, assuming that people are using that network. So if I refer a client, an agent in the Philadelphia suburbs and stuff like that, that's going to be mapped out, and you can see incoming and outgoing. So one of the pitches I use in my listing presentations is that I can check out the referral patterns and see if there's people that are moving from a specific area to this area. And maybe it's, they're coming from the Chicago suburbs or the Philadelphia suburbs for job placement changes and stuff. And I can now run an ad in the suburbs of Philadelphia, as well as in this area. So I like to always, now this is your minimum radius, 15 miles. And this is the listing location. I typically like to put my 15-mile radius around Maplewood, because that kind of reaches far west of Summit, but it also reaches into Brooklyn. And actually, I think you probably need to do more like 18 on that. But now also, I can actually, let's see, if we just do 20, I can also put in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, outside of Philly, and it'll run the same ad down there. And I can put up to 10 different places here. Now, obviously, you want to adjust your budget accordingly because your spend is being put into different areas. So if you were normally to spend $25, I would consider doing 20 to $25 for each of these locations. And it's going to do that same radius around every single one of these. So that's a really cool option now, instead of actually running separate ads to do that. So here we go. Here's my new listing in city. And it automatically populates that. So you can see it puts it in Summit City. And the headline, I typically don't like to put the address in, because then they don't have to click learn more. They can actually just pull it up on Zillow. So I would get rid of that, and what does it do there? So this is going to load in some stuff, but I would put, yeah, you don't want to do that. Did you see what loaded in? If I put in description, let's give it a second. It put all that in as a headline, which you clearly don't want to do. So I'm just going to say, stuff like this is the hardest part about running a Facebook ad. Just coming up with the headline, because typically that's a very small character count. And so here is my photos, and this is just pulling from the listing. And I can, these are all like external photos. So it's like, well, the first one's nice, but like the second one, I can, number one, I can upload a custom image from the media library. And if I had, let's say, that house as, if this was that house that I, did, and it had the just listed graphics and stuff, I could choose that. But let's go back to the first image. But I can now change the second one to maybe an interior image. Let's see what that is. It takes a second to load. That doesn't look like the same photo. But yeah, you can grab these different images and stuff and just change them out. I'm sure this is going to probably refresh soon. Now, like I said, it's going to use the lead capture form, but you still need to drive them to the certain address. So this was, what was it, 22 Russell. So I would pop this up on my website. 22 Russell.
I think it's 25, Russell.
25? That'll do it. Let's see. It should come up in here though. Let's try that again. 25. Thank you for paying attention. I don't know why it's coming up, but let's say if this, let's just for demonstration purposes. Oh, see, I got my own website set up to prompt me to sign up. I'm gonna log in. Okay. So 25. Let's see. This. And let's just pretend this is the house, and I would just take that URL and I would put it in here. And get rid of that because I copied and pasted the entire thing, so we don't want two of them. And I can preview this if I want, and just pop it up into another page. If I click landing page, it's going to just give me to a drop down to all my different landing pages that I have on command already. And yeah, this is different pages that I've got built. Sign in form mobile. That's my open house thing. Yeah, so let's go back to that. And now I can put in custom tags. So we're going to assume that they're going to be a buyer. So a little slow to load stuff. I know I have a buyer tag. Let's try these. There you go. Okay, we've got a little problem here. Let's see what else. It's interesting. It's giving me my options for tags I actually created already, but on my own. But not giving me the KW created ones, which is interesting. So this is newsletter and Facebook. Okay, smart plans. Now you want to have a smart plan ready to go already in advance. Now I don't have one for this house, of course, but let's say, that was my smart plan I was going to use for it. DBA logo, because obviously you want the smart plan to start as soon as they click. Smart plans know enough to not start a smart plan at 3 o'clock in the morning if somebody's up clicking on Facebook at that hour of the day, or in the morning. It'll wait till about 10 o'clock to send out the first email or text, whatever you have lined up.
Sorry, Ron. Why did you pick the open house one as a smart plan to put them on?
It was just for a demo. Yeah,
okay.
I didn't build a Facebook ad. No, this is the open house one. I have one for Facebook ads.
Okay, so we could use a Facebook ad smart plan of some sort.
Yeah. Facebook listing ad 123 Main Street. Here we go. This is what I customized for specifically for this house. So I have stuff in the library that you can go and get if you want, but they're very specific. You got to read the instructions. You got to put the address in for the first section. It's like a 2-part smart plan stuff, but we're not talking about that today. But let's say let's say pretend that was the house, and then your DBA logo. So that would be the KW logo, corporate. Oh wait, I see. I guess, it's the first time you grab this stuff, I'm sure it'll be. All right, well, I'm actually fairly organized here, so we should be able to do this quickly. Oops. Columns. Logos. Your properties. And there we go. Confirm and close. And then that's like the illegal stuff, and it's probably going to just throw the stuff at the bottom. Proceed to last step. And I can dial in my budget. It's going to, like I said, it's going to naturally put it on Facebook and Instagram and shift your budget depending on where you're getting the most clicks and stuff. And you don't have to worry about like all the interests and everything like that. Like, we used to go through, the what people were interested in and stuff like that. This is all done for us now. They know it's a real estate ad. They're going to put it in front of people who are looking for real estate, and et cetera, et cetera. So if I was ready to go, I would hit purchase now. And what's really cool now is there's a couple things that have changed. One, if I was doing this in the morning, there's a very good chance that within a few hours this would start running. It used to be that you would always have to wait until the next morning, and it would start up the next morning. But the approval process is happening a lot quicker, so it could be up to 24 hours, but typically they've been launching in I don't know, maybe 6 hours, 8 hours, or something like that. So if you're starting early in the day, you could probably have it running, but towards the end of the day. If you were to run this ad and keep it going, and then decide that I want to turn this off because maybe I set my duration too long and stuff, and I really don't want to spend all this money. When you cancel the ad, you will get a refund directly. It's not like it goes back to your credit card. So it's not going to be a credit that you use for the next ad that you run, which is the way it used to be. So now you're actually literally going to get a credit back on your card, which is a nice change. There's two things that are missing, which a couple of weeks ago when I was trained on this, everybody was like, no, you have to do this. So you can see that there's no option for me to save as a draft and come back to it later. So, a lot of times, that creative part about writing headlines and stuff like that, and you get to a point, so, or, the smart plan and stuff, so you really need to be prepared on your creative copy, and, your, the smart plan needs to be written in advance and ready to go when you build this. So there is no save as a draft at the moment. Now that will be coming soon. The other option that you don't have is once it's created and it runs and it finishes, we used to be able to duplicate the ad and run it again, or tweak it and maybe run a slightly different version with maybe some slightly different copy and stuff like that. That also is currently not an option, but also coming soon. So you
said you can't duplicate the ad after it's already been run, but you can duplicate the ad while it's still running.
No,
you can't duplicate it at all.
No,
there's no duplication. Got it.
Yeah, you're just basically rebuilding it. So yeah, you may want to just, if you've labored over the copy that's going into this and you really want to remember, I would kind of maybe copy and paste it and throw it in a note somewhere or something like that. Or before you even get in here, maybe figure out what you might want to write. If you don't want to rely on some of the AI suggestions. So, and let's see, coming back here, if I just click on this, this is some of the AI stuff. So I can just suggest with AI, and it's going to give me another option for this. And if I can say I want caring or emotional or practical or artistic, I can, change that style. And because this is an older house and stuff, it's going to write it from that point of view, and I can just keep on cycling through until I find something I like. So not everybody's good at writing creative copy, so the ability to do that is right here. And then, like I said, if you want to rerun this at another time, does it let you copy it? Let's see. Yeah, copy, and then I can come into notes and paste, and there it is. The one thing that the AI does not put in is emojis. So that's something that you might want to just put in yourself. So then I can apply that, and that's my body text, and that's. So this section up here always should be, not so wordy. It should be quick, attention getting, and certainly not yielding this see more thing and stuff like that. You want this is the copy up here that's going to get them to click learn more, and that's the main thing, because that's what you want them to do to drive them to your into your command account. And once again, like in the past, it's going to pull from their Facebook account, their phone number, their email, and their first and last names, and put it on a form. They hit submit. They're agreeing to be contacted, so that's kind of your way around the TCPA. They're basically granting you permission. And basically, if somebody gives you their information, either on a Facebook ad or at an open house and stuff, they've basically granted you that permission for a period of 18 months. I actually just learned that timeline recently. So you can chase after them for 18 months. And then you might want to think about not calling anymore or texting.
If they respond to the text message, then we are able to
continue.
move forward.
Yes.
Perfect. Just want to make sure.
Yeah. And if they've, if you've had a conversation with them and stuff like that and say, oh, I'm not really interested, it's like, well, would it be okay if I, reached out to you every few months and just checked in? Sure. That's fine. And they're giving you permission. So, and, that would be, maybe a tag to create, like a TCPA tag that you can, tag people with that when they've actually given you permission to do it, or put it in the notes or something like that, which it would actually have a day and time stamp on it, which would probably be better. So that is that. Let's get out of this. If I come back to dashboard, I'm going to lose my changes. Yes, I do. Let's take a look at one of these. The other thing that is not visible here, because I am not a rainmaker on a team, and this is unusual. They've given something to teams before they gave it to solo agents. It's always been the other way around, and lately they've been trying to give it to both solo agents and teams simultaneously with new product rollouts. But at the moment, teams have the ability to run what's called dynamic ads. So much like these seller and track buyers that are running on like Google ads and stuff like that, like search ads, it's a subscription-based thing. But what it does is it takes ads from your market center and puts it in front of people repeatedly. So when they're scrolling, they might see a different house each time that it's popping up. But if they're clicking, if they even slow down and they stop the scroll for a second, the algorithm knows to put that ad back in front of them. So it's going to put your ad possibly with another listing from our office, and then when they click, it's going to go to your website and stuff. So where they'll hopefully engage and reach out. So that's also a minimum $250 a month spend, and so that's really kind of an interesting thing, because it's just it really, you know how like when you start shopping for something and all of a sudden you see it all over your Instagram feed and your Facebook feed and stuff like that. Well, that's exactly what this is going to do. So that's a very cool option. Let's take a look at this. I'm going to just put in Summit. All right, so I can see, boom, it's there already, right? I would put in a landing page, so I could put in, a landing. I have a landing page of find out the value of your home and stuff, and it's literally just a lead capture form with kind of that title on it, and it says to put your home address in the comments, and I'll reach out to talk to you about the value of your home. Or I can go to your website, whatever you choose. But this is, you can, and it could, appear differently in different spots throughout Google. So, this is basically it's like set it and forget it. And, it's going to just drive stuff to you. So add details, refine your ads targeting. This must be new because I don't remember them training on this. Let's add additional keywords. This is actually targeting for sellers, but yeah, it looks like you can actually, this is like possible additional negative keywords. That's interesting. Google search ads target specific keywords that customer might use in the search. Ah, I see. All right, I was thinking about this backwards. So so you can put in different keywords that people might put in a Google search, and that's going to be what puts this ad in front of them. So, and then negative, let's see. Negative keywords are those that prevent your ad from being triggered by a certain word. So when you add free as a negative, it's not going, if they ask for something free, your ad's not going to show up in front of them. Now, yeah, we'll do a CMA for free, certainly. So maybe that's not a word that you want to put in. But what I would do is actually go on Google and pretend to be a seller or a buyer and stuff, and search some stuff and see what comes up, and and think about what you would do as a user Googling for something, and then maybe use those keywords in here. So I gotta put a page in. So I gotta move this tool things out of the way. I'm gonna put this same URL in. Proceed to last step. And basically this is now putting your budget in again. Like I said, it's a monthly thing. And this is, like I said, this is also something that, when you're doing Google search ads and stuff, it's not something you want to just try for a month and that's it. That's going to be a waste of money. I would suggest a minimum of 3 months. So that's that. So let me come back. Whoops. Back to the dashboard. That should cancel out this. And that is it for the overview. We are running through time. Does anybody have any questions? Do we like what we see? Pretty cool, right? I think that, the AI suggestions on copy and stuff like that, I mean, that's kind of, a nice ad. And the fact that you can kind of go through and it'll just continually giving you new suggestions is kind of nice. So you don't have to necessarily torture yourself. I mean, not everybody's good at writing cool ad copy, right? So I think that's a nice feature, and some of the options that we have, are really nice. With not just doing Facebook and Instagram. I'm excited to run my first ad. Hope you are too.
So Ron, tell us the success story. Did you run any ads on Facebook, Instagram, or Google? Or just give us the example, not for the team. For the team, I understand the budget of $250 per month on multiple months. However, for the solo agent, right? When and in which case it makes sense to invest in this? What do you think?
I will say that, certainly don't forget about calling your sphere. That's where you're going to get the most business from. I mean, that's every KW trainer is going to tell you that. And that's, they're easier to, and it's not like you're getting your cousin or your friend to list their house. You're talking to them about the few hundred people that they have in their database. Who can you think of? Right? Open-ended question. Who can you think of that's looking to sell, buy, or invest? Not can you think of anybody? That's a yes/no question. But this is something that this should definitely not be ignored. There's a lot of power here, and I think that there's a promise there that we're going to get more and better leads from this version of this platform than we had in the past. Now, I ran a Facebook ad a while back, and I haven't run one in a long time actually. I've got the most recent one that I showed you in my account, that was from about a month ago, and I have a buyer's consult with somebody from that open house or from that ad on Friday. And I had got a listing from an ad that I did, I guess probably at least a year ago. So that was, and that, I had a smart plan built. It was ready to go. It went out. It had texts, phone calls, and emails. And I would say about at least a month in, he started responding to some of the texts. So it took him a long time to actually just start to engage. So that's why your smart plans need to run for you. You can't just call somebody a couple of times and I followed up with them. They never answered. That's not enough. Call, text, emails. Keep calling and calling and calling. Leave messages. Don't leave messages. Alternate, whatever. They're gonna, especially Facebook ads are usually a little further out. Than somebody that's walking into an open house, let's say, but they could be tire kickers too that are a year out. But follow up is key, and I've taught plenty of smart plan classes and stuff, and go in the library, search my name. I've got plenty of stuff there for you. There's open house plans and Facebook listing ad plans and stuff. And they run those two plans. That's the 1, 2, 3 Main Street ones. They run like almost 5 months. And then built into them is I take the neighborhood of wherever that listing was and put that into their contact card. And then in the smart plan, about 4 days in, they get added to the biweekly neighborhood nurture, and that never really turns off. So the smart plan can end after 5 months, And then, but that continues. So, you know, I have, and then on your mobile app and on command, you have that recently active section, and you can click on that recently active and see who has clicked on it, biweekly neighborhood nurture, or one of your a listing on your website or something like that. And I have people from more than 2 years ago from open houses that are clicking on neighborhood snapshots, and I just call up like, hey, just checking in on some of my old open house visitors, wondering if you ever bought anything. You know, clearly not, because they're still clicking, right? So, or they did, and they're just keeping in touch with their neighborhood now, because they ended up buying there. So either one's good, but but I keep trying. So that's it. Alrighty, so yeah, so like I said in the beginning, there's those 3 videos. So if you haven't done the Facebook stuff, check that out. There are actually, I'm gonna put in the chat a link here, and the first 2 articles in this directory at the top really kind of walk you through the steps in a step-by-step process on answers.kw.com. But the video on that, on the paid ads site, also gives you a pretty good, step-by-step process. So, and it's like a 10-minute thing. So if you prefer to see screenshots and a list, use the link and look at those first 2 articles. And if you prefer a video, you got a 10-minute video right on your command dashboard. And I'm going to go watch that lead conversion one now. So see if I'm missing anything, right? But the main thing is, like, what do you say on the phone when you finally get them, right? So and I will say that when you do get somebody on the phone from a Facebook ad, or even leaving a message, it's like just checking in. I know you clicked on a Facebook ad of mine. Just curious to see if you're looking to make a move, or maybe you were just poking around Facebook and just saw a pretty house and clicked. Either way is good. Love to have a conversation. No pressure. Call me back. So it's got to be a soft sell, right? Because they literally could be, somebody that's just clicking on 2 o'clock in the morning, half asleep on Facebook, and like, oh yeah, I'll click that. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
what did I
Funny
just...
story about that. When I called one of mine, it was just, you could tell by the voice, much older gentleman, and he yelled at me, "I'm a doctor, I'm not interested, never call me again."
and if they say that, do not call them. Because
I will not ever call him again.
because even if they're not on the do not call list, they are for you now. So that is very important to keep in mind. So that's a very serious thing, that the do not call list. Like, please abide by that. But like I said, the Facebook form that pops up to give us their information says that you're agreeing to be contacted by this advertiser. So it's basically them granting you permission. It's fine print. You do not read it, but legally we're okay. But as far as expireds, or like FSBOs, they're putting their number out there at some gray area, but expireds, they do not call on expired if they're on the do not call list. Send a card, knock on their door, but no text, no phone call. Because we're starting to hear about some serious lawsuits out there. So, alrighty. Well, 4 o'clock on the dot. Look at that. So you guys have a great rest of the day, and play around. And like I said, be prepared with some ideas of what you want to say, and make sure that obviously your Facebook stuff is set up on the back end, and have a smart plan ready to go before you start building an ad. All right. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.